So today we are going to talk about how to twist to have specific actionable strategies to boost your business immunity so that after this period of great disruption, we're all going to come out of it with businesses that are intact and maybe even businesses that are even stronger. Because I do believe that disruption can breed great innovation. So the first technique is we're going to twist your target audience. In marketing, we always say, go very young. If you go to younger people, you'll get older people. Nobody wants to really build a brand with much older people. But what's really interesting right now is there are some brands that are doing very well by specifically targeting seniors. And this is a brand in my local Westchester community. It's a supermarket that is reaching out to seniors, opening up early to seniors and immunocompromised shoppers and letting them in the store before everybody else gets there. So maybe you haven't targeted to seniors, and this is an opportunity for you to do that. On the opposite end of the spectrum, maybe you've always targeted to, adults, and there's an opportunity to go younger. Enterprise, which has for years didn't want to have anything to do with anybody under 25, probably for insurance issues, is now opening up to 18 to 24-year-olds, specifically because they realize that there's a need for these kids to get home, or get back to college. Like my son came home for a week for spring break. It's turned into a permanent break. He had to get back to Rhode Island to pack up his room. So older, we saw with DeCicco's. Younger, we've seen with Enterprise. And here's the last target that I want to talk about. And I think this one is really, really rich. So because we are all remotely working, there is a whole new cohort of people that many of whom, for the first time, are working remotely. Not a day or two a week, but like 24/7. So these people are probably feeling isolated, confused, navigating the new normal. Many of them have kids at home. And I think this could be a really interesting cohort for all of us to look at. I've seen some brands. This is a good example. Headspace, which is usually, it's a mindfulness app. I'm sure a lot of you know it. Usually goes direct to consumer. But what they're doing is they're actually going directly to this new target, this new remote cohort, and saying to businesses, we can help with the mental health and the wellness of your work at home employees. The second strategy is fundamentally, how can you twist your offering? How can you re-engineer your business to more effectively connect with isolation, uncertainty, new targets during this really difficult time? So again, I'm going to give you some examples. It's been reported that Walmart is selling a huge uptick on tops and no bottoms. How can your business, metaphorically, right? Maybe you're still stuck on selling the whole outfit, but people really only want the tops. What is the top portion of your business that you should be promoting? I'm talking about this as a metaphor for what you offer. And again, I'm going to show you lots of examples here. So this came from Seattle, from one of my brand school students. This is a very high-end restaurant called Canlis. The way that it was explained to me is this is the place if you're getting engaged, having a special birthday, having a graduation dinner, this is the place that you would go. And literally overnight, they reacted and turned their business around. They turned it into takeout, drive-through, delivery. So I think this is a really great example. If you have a physical space, what could you do? A couple more examples. Home organizers. This takes advantage of the fact that we all have computers with video cameras or phones that have FaceTime. They're doing, this is called Hoarderly. They're doing virtual closet organization sessions. We're all home now. We're looking at all the stuff in our house. We probably want to attack some of those projects that we haven't done, been meaning to do, spring cleaning, but here's an expert that's taking advantage and finding a way to help you. And so this is a fantastic time to reach out to other people. It's a donut shop. It's called Crosstown Donuts. And what they're doing is they've partnered in London with other local artisanal businesses. So the same sort of types of brands, but in other categories around food. And they're creating these collective boxes, and they're bringing those boxes to different people. First of all, it's easier to create a program if you've got more people to brainstorm against it. Secondly, logistically, it's easier to deliver on a program like this if you have multiple people, multiple brands involved. I think this one is also really, really important, is how can you twist for the greater good? I think this is something that every business should be thinking about. How are you giving back right now? How are you being a force for good? But I want you to think about how you can do that in a way that still builds your brand. So lets people know what you're about, what your twist is, what's unique about you. And also, if possible, make some money. This is an example of a pizza parlor, again, in my town in Westchester, but I think this is a national campaign, so maybe you've seen it. It's called Dough for Dough. And what they're doing is pizza parlors are saying, if you buy one of our pizzas and then give a little extra money, I think in this case it was $13, we will donate some pizza to a local first responder. And they're also saying, in this case, if you donate a pizza, we'll match that donation. So they're still getting deliveries. Their business is still out there, but they're also showing that they care by going the extra mile to donate these pizzas. This is another example. This is a beading company. And what they're doing is, if you buy a bead kit, which is great for the kids that are at home, you can make this the art class part of the day. If you have smaller children, they'll donate a bead making kit, a bracelet making kit to the local children's hospital. And I think this is such a win-win because it's a relatively small amount of money. It's a valuable product for your kids at home. And it's a really valuable thing to do for, these poor children who are in the hospitals right now and have very limited, if any, visitation from family. So I think this is a way for them to sell more kits and do some good. Here's another example. It has a really kind of cool twist on it. It's a craft beer. It has a sort of funky, punky attitude towards it. And it has started making hand sanitizer. So it's repurposed its business operations to make hand sanitizer. But what you'll notice about this hand sanitizer, this is not your mother's Purell, right? This is in cans that have the branding on it. It's called Punk Sanitizer, which I love. This is just like so much fun. And they're still presenting their brand, presenting their product. They're doing good because they're giving the sanitizer to people who need it. But they're doing good in a way that's keeping their brand sort of healthy and alive. So those are the three strategies: twisting your audience, twisting your offering, and twisting for the greater good. I'm sending you big purple love, and be well, and I will see you soon. Thanks so much.